Hi, I'm Cheryl Norman. I'm hosting Spiritually Intriguing on RazzmatazzTV.com. And today, our panelists are...
Melissa.
So you're married?
Yes, we are.
And how long have you been married?
We've been married for 4 years, but we've been together for just over 10.
Oh, good. So you enjoy married life?
Yeah. Anybody who's been married knows that.
Right.
And downs.
Right.
Okay. We have some good topics for discussion today. So we're just going to get right in. Our first question today for you, Melissa, is how do you feel about bootlegging CDs, DVDs, plays?
I don't agree with it
Mm-hmm.
because it is costing the artists income, so they should get something for it.
Okay.
But on the other hand, there's not really a good way to prevent it from happening.
Mhm.
So you've got to find a cutoff point before you say, all right, that's enough money to throw at it to try and go after people, because it's not really worth it in the end, I guess.
Bill, do you think that they should outlaw it, and if people are caught on the street selling it, that they should be arrested and prosecuted?
That's kind of a tall order, you know. Copyright and laws and things like that, they're there to protect the artists and the artists' interests and whatnot. But you know, some of these big music companies, they don't take care of the artist. You know, look at what happened to TLC.
Right.
You know, they got raped over the coals, and that happens a lot of times. Should you pirate? No. It is breaking the law, and we are a country of laws. Too many laws, but a country of laws. But I mean, what are your alternatives? Sign up on board Apple's deal and get on iTunes. And
Yeah, because the shows is ridiculous today.
yeah, they don't make it easy enough for folks to get music, and without the music, without the fan base, these artists, they have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read an article, I don't remember if it was on Yahoo or Time. A lot more artists now are touring more than they used to, because they make money touring, because they can't make it off record sales anymore. Maybe the music should be free and you pay to go see the artist perform. Maybe that's an approach.
Good idea. Okay, our next question. Do you think rich people have the right to not feel obligated to help people?
Have the right?
Yeah.
No, nobody should have the right to not feel obligated to show people. Is it possible that they forget where they came from if they started out poor? Possibly.
Okay.
But no, they should have the right. But then again, it's not necessarily a responsibility for them to turn around and care for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
you know, behind them, if they worked hard, started from nothing, and earned it, and didn't step on people along the way, and gave back along the way. Then, you know, that's taken care of enough. You don't have to then turn around and say, okay, here's my bank account number, and, you know, take everything I've got. So it's
Okay. So if you were born wealthy, do you think that would give you justification for not helping people because you've always had money?
no.
You think that they should as well?
No, there's no justification for not helping people. There's no good justification for not helping. You don't have to be wealthy to help, but you don't. It's not a. Yeah, there's no justification for it. At least not in my mind.
I saw an internet article that Denzel Washington toured one of the medical hospitals, and they were talking about how they put all this stuff out on the web, you know, the bad stuff, and they don't ever put the good, where he asked the question, how much does it cost to build one of these hospitals? And they told him he just took his checkbook out, wrote a check right away.
Saw the exact same article.
So, yeah, so...
Yes.
You
No,
know,
I look for stories like that. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're out there. You just have to know where to look.
Sure. And I think if the wealthy helped more, you know, we wouldn't be in such a bad state, and, you know, people wouldn't be...
I agree. If they helped more, if they were more willing to help, but you can't expect a handout.
Right, right.
You know, the people that are poor shouldn't walk around going, I'm poor, please take care of me.
Right.
Well, what are you willing to, you know, if I'm willing to lend you money
Mhm.
to help you get a leg up, are you willing to put in the work?
Right.
Kind of like Habitat for Humanity. You put in the sweat equity
Mhm.
to get the house.
Mhm.
You know, so what are you willing to give if you know you want to get something from somebody else?
Brad Pitt did after Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
The people down there in the Ninth Ward, they had to go through classes to be able to get their homes rebuilt.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to do financial management. There was a lot of stuff that they had to do when my mom's from Louisiana. So we went down, and there was a lady there. They were building on the houses, and she opened her door, not a wealthy woman, and let them use her electricity every day after they built her house. So it's real interesting how some of the rich people do give back.
Right.
But you're right, you need to have to go through and do what needs to be done to be able to get the help.
Right.
So I agree.
Well, we were just talking about this the other day, and so it popped into my head. We discussed it. It's kind of the difference between old money and new money.
Right.
Folks who have old money, you know, the Rockefellers and stuff like that, the old money families in this country, they are generally more generous with their giving and philanthropy work and stuff like that. It's the new money, the new wealthy that hold back, you know, because it's fresh, it's new to them. You know, they do, like she said, for a brief moment forget. Not all of them, you know, but somebody came up to you right now and handed $1 million to you. You know, that's life-changing stuff.
Yes, it is.
It'll play with your mind for a little while, you know. Whereas people who were born into money, they've been taught how to act with money. You know, so I think that's the big difference. People with old money, they give, they're generous. People with new money, they tend to be a little bit more hold back.
Right. Even with the lottery, people win the lottery and they have family members and they have all this money and they will not share with them. They tell them, well, when I'm dead, you know, you'll be taken care of. Well, you may outlive me, so what now?
Right.
You know.
Right. Or you may not have anything left by then.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. Bill.
Jim.
I'm sorry. Jim. At what point should you kill someone?
Well, I'm a veteran.
Okay.
So to ask a veteran that question is, you know, you don't sign your name on the dotted line without having the ability to say, yes, I can take someone else's life, if that's my order. You know, in fact, they even ask you in basic training, is they call it a conscientious objective.
Okay.
If you can't pull the trigger, then you can't be in the military.
Really?
Why you gonna put a gun in somebody's hand if they ain't gonna use it?
Right.
You know, that's fodder. So, if in a wartime situation, anytime I get near the enemy, I'm gonna squeeze the trigger. That's what I'm taught to do.
Right.
You know, because it's either me or them.
Right.
You know, that's war.
Right.
Okay? What goes on in the streets and cities? That's shameful. That is downright shameful. Okay? I think a lot of what goes on with killing and whatnot is you need to go outside of this country. You need to experience things before you pass judgment. And I know in some of these areas it's hard to do that kind of thing, you know, because those opportunities aren't there for you. But outside of a life or death situation or something like that, I don't think it's necessary to kill someone. You know, can they be rehabilitated or anything like that? Who knows? People are complicated. You know, I mean, we have a lot of prisons and
There are some teenagers that have good family structure, strong parents, and yet they still get with the wrong crowd, or they're not leaders, they're followers, and they follow
True.
the bad guys, thinking they want to be tough, and get caught up.
well, and that's where it comes in with guidance.
But you can only guide so much after.
Exactly.
You can only teach so much,
Exactly.
and then you have to let them
You
go.
have to
and
let them go.
Pray that you've done enough.
Right.
Right.
You know, because if you haven't done enough, it's not going to be enough. But you
Right.
have to trust.
And that goes like back to what I was talking about with getting outside of the country.
Mhm.
You know, getting a view of. It's like the old saying, "Forest full of trees." You know, you can't see what's out there if you're so tightly focused on what you're looking at. You know, I mean, okay, you stepped across an imaginary line. Oh, man, go to the battlefield. There's a guy that has a. He doesn't even have to be next to you to kill you, and he got a gun pointed at you. You know, that is hardcore. Not running around pointing your gun sideways and stuff like that. Come on. I mean, I understand to a certain point, having been a young man, there's a rebellious time in your life and that kind of thing, but it's just too much. Way too much. So yeah, I think that they should be like in the 60s. Here's your choice. You can go to jail or you can go fight in Afghanistan.
Very good.
And that's our show for today. Thank you for watching Spiritually Intriguing on RazzmatazzTV.com. Bye-bye.